Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, Off Grid Investor. This is Dolph. Today, right now, it's about 15 minutes before the market close. And as you see, market is pretty red right now. The Dow Jones almost 2% lost. S&P 500 is 1.75. So as the NASDAQ is about 1.8% now. This is kind of what I predicted, from the last video. So that's why I trimmed a lot of my position, and any of you all like to follow my move. If you saved your butt, saving some money, that's good. Our next question is how long this will the last. So I don't know how many of you all like watched the interview with the Robinhood CEO and the Webull, the CEO. The CEO of Robinhood, he was pretty much digging the grave for himself, not really giving any insight of what was the reason that he put all this the restriction. He did give a little bit of a hint, but he was pretty much saving his ass. Not telling the much But the CEO of Webull actually gave the quite inside the info to a lot of investors out there, what is really going on. So the Webull pretty much told us, like all this platform, the small, the brokerage, they just didn't have money. They don't have money. They see, the big risk on their platform, or the small, the brokerage going really down if this one persists, for longer period of time. And they were pretty much, I think, they were pretty much trying to scare, the small investors, hey, this can cause a lot of domino effect, and bad thing can happen to the market. But that's what I was kind of predicting it all year. So that's why I kind of trimmed a lot on my position. But our question is, how long this will end? Are we going to see kind of the dip that we had from like beginning of September last year or middle of October? Are we going to have that much? I'll be fine. Like maybe that's like kind of like the limit of my the tolerance. But if it goes even more than that, below, that's what what I worry, and a lot of investors probably they're thinking the same way. And I don't know how many of y'all I'm gonna the play the little clips of the interview that I watched the last night. So who is the big money behind the manipulating this whole market?
And now, as a result, the big guys aren't allowed to lose money. So that's why Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, Schwab, and everyone else shut down trading in these stocks, was so the pros could settle the score. You had Janet Yellen calling all over the street yesterday, trying to calm it down. And let's just take a step back. Who backstopped Melvin Capital? Well, that was Citadel Securities. Who runs Citadel Securities? Ken Griffin. Very wealthy man. Citadel Securities, the same company that paid Janet Yellen $810,000 in speaking fees before she became Treasury Secretary. So what you have is people who are not allowed to win are winning. Historically, the business model for hedge funds has been to take money from retail investors, not the other way around. So now, as a result, these stocks floundered a little bit today because investors couldn't go in and put more cash on it. But this is nothing new. It's happened in the commodity market. It usually happens to the downside. But I will touch on some of the things that Gary said. This is not investing. This is trading. This is trading hard, and this is speculating. It is not for the faint of heart, but it has gone the way of the Reddit user.
I mean, is this the the new things? It is not a new thing. It has been always going on, and now there's starting. The government is starting to kind of like talking about they will come up with some kind of regulation or something new rule, and just because of this whole thing, they brought the good cause to the market. The new investors, they're aware of what's going on. So I think I do support the good cause of the GME stocks or AMC stock, or all the others, 13 whatever the stocks that the Robinhood, the Meta, the restrictions and on. This will definitely bring some, kind of the big attention, from a lot of the investors. So we'll see how this thing will go. But the Chamath, last night, he tweeted, instead of the Robinhood, you guys can use these 3 other options. You can use, and then number 1, he put it in the SoFi. That he's like the very biased with that, because he's the one that they're leading the SPAC, and they just announced the SPAC merger with the SoFi. So I see that one went up like the 19%. I see good opportunity on that one. Maybe like next few days, I think the dudes will have a little strength on that one. So somebody who are interested in keep that keep your eye on that. And of course the Bitcoin went up a lot today. That's mainly because of the Elon Musk could tweet the last night. So we'll see. I do own the Bitcoin myself, so it is a good news. But like, question is how long this will last. We'll have to see. New Treasury Secretary, Janet, mentioned something about it, like last week, and then like Bitcoin really tanked. But finally, we see, this awakening of the hibernating. So we'll see how this will go. We'll have to see. Some of you who don't have an access to buy the Bitcoin, I posted in the previous video that you guys can play with GBT, ticker symbol GBTC. Or the Mara, ticker symbol MARA. They're heavily, invested in the Bitcoin. Or the another one, ticker symbol CLSK. It is the energy company. You see like all this, the power lines, and that's what the company, the installs and all that. But recently they have heavily invested in the Bitcoin. So CLSK, ticker symbol CLSK, it went up about little shy of 5% so far. Mara went up about 3%. The GBTC, it all went about 2.15%. So that's a kind of alternative, the way to play, the Bitcoins if you're interested in. So mainly, I just wanted to shout to y'all, like, please be careful. And we'll see how the market reacts next few days. This might be a good opportunity, to pick up some, your favorite, the stocks you've been waiting for. But we'll have to see, like, how the market that goes. And that's for today's the video. And I'll see you guys next time.